We now bring you a party political broadcast on behalf of the Liberal Party.
Gibraltar.
Good evening. Before I move on to some of the challenges, I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate Miss World 2009, our very own Miss Gibraltar, Keyan Aldorino. She has done Gibraltar proud, and it is an achievement that has put Gibraltar on the map. Well done. Once again, the festive season has come round, and yet another year draws to a close. It has been an eventful year for Gibraltar in some respects, a year full of many challenges. Perhaps no challenge has been more sustained and more serious than the aggressive manner in which Spain has chosen to assert its claim to the territorial waters of Gibraltar. We know that at the end of last year, Gibraltar's waters were designated as if they were Spanish by the European Commission, following a proposal from Madrid. This was followed by a marked increase in the number of incursions into our territorial sea by the agencies of the Spanish state. This included the arrival of the Spanish Navy corvette Tarifa in May, which dispatched a RIB to conduct an inspection on fishing boats in Gibraltar's waters. The RIB refused to leave when challenged by the Royal Navy. It also included countless incursions by the Guardia Civil patrol boats, which culminated in the incident last week when 4 of them came ashore in the area of Harbour Views, brandishing the weapons. It is wrong that this incident should be played down, because it does not suit the political agenda of the government. The fact is that it is scandalous that 4 armed men were able to access the port and set foot in Gibraltar unchallenged. If this were not enough, they were then set free as if nothing had happened. Many people are wondering, quite rightly, what on earth is going on. The incident betrays a complete lack of respect for our sovereignty and jurisdiction over the waters of Gibraltar, the waters inside the port and the land territory of Gibraltar itself. It is naive to believe that these civil guards were inexperienced and didn't know what they were doing. This has been put around as a damage limitation exercise after the event. To claim that they did not know that they were inside the port and inside Gibraltar itself is an insult to our collective intelligence. You will remember that we were told when the Spanish Foreign Minister visited Gibraltar in July that the waters issue had been neutralized. We in the opposition were convinced that the issue was far from neutralized, and this has been borne out by everything that has happened since. But there is something more fundamental and perhaps even more disturbing. We are constantly told that Spain wants friendship and cooperation with Gibraltar, yet Spain's actions towards us suggest otherwise. They undermine our position in the European Union and they challenge our sovereignty on a daily basis. What they say is one thing and what actually happens is quite another. They have been responsible for promoting the designation of our waters as if they were Spanish. They invade our waters as if they were Spanish. There is nothing friendly in any of that. In the same way as they say we have no waters, they also maintain we have no airspace. A Spanish environmental agency aircraft have been spotted around Gibraltar several times. Reports indicate that it has refused to obey instructions from air traffic control and will only answer to Seville. This brings me to the new air terminal building. Many of you who come to see us complain that you have been told that the government have no money for this or no resources available for that. Ensure that there are no funds for things that matter to you. However, there seems to be plenty of money available when it comes to paying for projects like the air terminal building and the hole in the ground that used to be the Theatre Royal. Millions and millions of pounds at the last count. This cannot be right. EasyJet has just announced it will cut the number of flights between Gibraltar and London next year by 40%, because they claim the route has not met their expectations. On the present showing, this means that next summer there will be less flights to London than there were this summer. We know that Andalus reduced its service to Madrid and cuts completely the flight between Gibraltar and Barcelona. It is against this background that the government continues to pour millions and millions of pounds into a new air terminal building. You need to understand that they are not doing this to plan for our future or for the financial or economic considerations. A new air terminal is being built because the government signed a political agreement with Spain which required a new air terminal at a new location for political reasons. Incidentally, the agreement also required that the taxpayers of Gibraltar should foot the bill. It obviously would have cost considerably less to expand and refurbish the existing air terminal than to embark on the construction of a new one as a sop to Spain. The problem is that the GSD have been in power for so long that they have lost touch with the real world. They have started to believe their own propaganda. Everything is a centre of excellence. Everything is state-of-the-art. Everything is the best in Europe. And why not? Even the best in the world. The problem for them is that more and more of you have now seen through this illusion. And so, as the next general election draws closer, I have no doubt that their attacks on the opposition and on others who dare to express dissenting views will become increasingly more desperate. Many people have over the years been the victim of unjustified and uncalled for character assassinations at their hands. And not all of those people are even in politics. My friend and colleague Fabian Pigardo is obviously the next target. Politics should not descend to those levels. The government give the impression that they are infallible. Everything they do has to be right. Nothing they do can ever be wrong. This attitude comes from being in power for too long. It is simply not healthy. It is time for a change. Whenever the elections are called, rest assured that we will be ready and waiting. Gibraltar needs a new team of people with new ideas to take us forward into the future. With that thought, I want to thank you for listening and wish you all the very best for Christmas and for the New Year. Good night.
That was a party political broadcast on behalf of the Liberal Party.